Hello my lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, today we are going to do a full face of Pat McGrath. She recently announced her holiday collection, Bijou something. I still don't know if I'm going to film my thoughts on it. I might. If I do, it will probably be tomorrow. And if I don't get it done by tomorrow, then I probably won't. I do have thoughts about that. We also got teased about a new Bridgerton collection coming our way. So I figured, let me go ahead and pull out all of my Pat McGrath makeup and do a full face for you all and give you my thoughts on the products that I do enjoy and the products that I don't. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started with this video. Okay, hair is pulled back and I already went ahead and applied my primers. I went in to the Rhode Skin Glazing Milk, the Cali Ray primer for the T-zone, the really silicone, I'm not a huge fan, and the Makeup Forever Hydra Boost for the perimeters of my face. She does have a primer in her line, but I have never tried it. I have heard mixed reviews. Some people love it, some people don't. I just haven't tried it. Okay, now we're going to jump into some foundation, and I do own the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Foundation. I will put a picture with the price and everything of all the items that I use. I have the shade here, light medium 13, and I think it should be a good match. I do feel though like her foundation line does run a tiny bit on the yellow side, and this is a very liquidy foundation, but I enjoy it. It's super lightweight, which if you've been here for a while, you already know I enjoy lightweight base. But it's a good one. It is a good one. She did a good job. It's a lot of people's favorite foundation. I know when it first came out, it was rare to see this kind of formula. Now it's kind of sort of everywhere. I don't own any of her brushes. I have also heard mixed reviews. Some people say they are beautiful and some people say it's too much money for what it is. But I am going to jump into this Rose Ink 3 brush and I'm going to blend this out. Okay, kids are downstairs. Can you hear that?
Making a ruckus.
FYI. Okay, next we're going to jump into concealer, but first, here is what the skin looks like. This is how I enjoy wearing my foundations. I like for my skin to peek through a tiny bit. I don't like for it to look heavy. I don't like for it to feel heavy. It honestly feels like I have almost nothing on. I basically use my foundation to even out my skin in case there's any discoloration, any redness, anything like that, and just kind of even it out and make it one fluid shade. I do really enjoy the Pat McGrath foundation. It's a good one. Okay, next, like I mentioned, the concealer. And does this like actually have a name? The Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection Concealer. LM8 is the shade I own. And when it comes to the concealer, I'm not such a huge fan. So there are a lot of people who love this concealer formula, and it's mainly because it's such a full coverage kind of concealer. Well, if you've been here for a while, and I'm sure you're tired of me saying that, I am not someone who enjoys full coverage. 2-3 years ago, yes, I totally did, but I started noticing that when I would go out in the daylight, it didn't look like my skin, and I didn't like it. Looks beautiful on pictures and all that, but as far as person to person, face to face, I just did not like how it looked. So my makeup style has changed, and I just try to keep it as simple, fresh, lightweight as I possibly can. Okay, so I have here the Jumbo Worker from Sonia G. This Pat McGrath concealer can look heavy even when just applying as little concealer as I did. So I do have a damp beauty sponge here just in case I need to go in with it afterwards. Okay, that's actually looking really good. If I use any more than this, I don't like it. It just looks too heavy for my personal taste. And with this little amount, it just sinks into my skin and it looks like my skin. Okay, skin is looking beautiful. Under eyes are actually looking pretty good. And I just used the brush. I did not have to jump in to the sponge,
which is great.
Okay, so she does not have any cream bronzers in her line, but she does have a cream blush, and I do own one of the shades. This is the Divine Blush Legendary Glow Color Balm. Sun-Kissed Seduction is the shade that I own. This formula, it's a pretty one. If you enjoy natural, fresh kind of makeup, you will enjoy this. If you don't mind your face feeling balmy, sticky, you will enjoy this. I personally have to set this. I cannot just leave it. It is a beautiful formula, not my absolute favorite, but I have definitely put this blush to good use. This is the Sephora 99 brush. Okay, powders. She does have a loose setting powder in her collection. I unfortunately don't own that, but I do have two of the shades of her under eye setting powder. This is the Skin Fetish Sublime Perfection and Blurring Under Eye Powder, and I have it in the shade Light and the shade Medium. I first purchased the shade Medium because I thought that the light one would be too light for my skin, but this powder is actually so finely milled that it literally just sinks into your skin as far as tone goes. I did enjoy this one. I felt like it made my eyes crease more than they would normally. Every single time I've tried it, that's what happens. So I don't know if the formula is just too finely milled for my under eyes, but I can't remember where or what I commented on one of Patty Alonso's videos, or maybe she saw one of my Instagram stories and she suggested that I try the light one, which this is what it looks like. And this is why I thought maybe this would be too like brightening for my under eyes, which I personally do not like. It did the same thing. So it's not a favorite, which is crazy because a lot of people love this under eye powder, but it just does not work for me like it does on everybody else. Let's go ahead and set with the light for my under eyes and with the medium for my T-zone, and I'll use a different powder for the rest of my face off camera. I already set my under eyes with MAC Fix Plus. I always do before going in with powder and just making sure all of the creases are gone. I'm going to jump into my little puff and I'm going to set with the light shade under my eyes. Okay, and now with the medium in my T-zone, I am going to use a fluffy brush. Okay, this is what we're looking like. Skin is actually looking great, including the under eyes. I did go into the RCMA loose powder for the perimeters of my face, basically just set whatever wasn't set with the Pat McGrath powders. So I went ahead and primed my eyes. I have the Anastasia Beverly Hills Eye Primer because we're going to do eyeshadow next. And I feel like that's where she thrives a lot, is in her eyeshadow category. I own 9 out of the 11 Mothership palettes. I own between 5 and 8 of the 6 pen palettes, probably between 5 and 8 of the quads. And then she recently introduced the 5 pan palettes, where it's like a long, slim rectangle, and I own 3 of those. 2 are from the Star Wars collection, and 1 of them is from one of the holiday collections, I believe. Okay, let me show you the newest 3 eyeshadow palettes from Pat McGrath that I have added to my collection. We'll start with this one, which is the Venusian Sunrise. Now, it's a very simple kind of palette, but it does pack a punch, and every eye look I create with it is beautiful. This she launched with the cream blushes. This is called the Luxe Eyeshadow Quad Passion Fleur. A very beautiful palette, very pink. Honestly, the packaging is what got me. And last but not least, Mothership number 11, which I already have a review up on my channel. I think my review was a 3 looks 1 palette review. If you own a Mothership palettes, you already know these are the It Ticket. Beautiful, beautiful palette. So let me figure out which one out of these three I will use for today's eye look. Okay, I actually want to pick this one up. We're going to start with the only matte in the palette, Sephora 19 brush. Okay, I apparently am doing a smoky eye look. I did put some NYX glitter glue because now I'm going to jump into this shimmer here, and it's going to go all over the lid. Okay, now on top of that one, we're going to jump into this one. Okay, I'm going to jump into the Venusian Sunrise and use the lightest shade just a tiny bit to blend out the edges of this burgundy purple shade. Just a tiny bit. This is a Sigma E40 brush. Back to this palette. This is the detail pencil brush from the Sigma and Samantha Ravindal collection. I'm going to spray it. I'm going to jump into the last shimmer in this palette and use that as my inner corner. Okay, let me go ahead and finish off the other eye, and then we'll get back into applying the rest of the Pat McGrath items. Okay. As I was doing my brows and thinking about mascara, because I do not currently own the mascara from Pat McGrath, I did own it and I did not like it. It flakes like crazy. Even if it was in YouTube, that for me is definitely a deal breaker. As soon as mascaras start flaking, and they never did that before, I toss them. Usually means it's time to be tossed. But I did remember that I do own an eyeliner from Pat McGrath. This is the Permagel Ultra Glide Eye Pencil in Black Coffee. I don't wear eyeliner. If you've been here for a while, it's very rare that I do. For the sake of this video, I'm going to add just a tiny bit on the outer corner to give me a smoked out little wing. And then I'll go ahead and smudge it. Okay, let me go ahead and smudge that out. Let me use the Sephora 19 since it has a pointy. Look, it's pointy. Okay, my lovelies, I went ahead and put on a tiny bit of mascara. I went into the Ilia mascara, and for the eyebrows, I went into the Benefit Brow Gel and the Gucci pencil. It's the powder in a pencil form. I don't know if she has any, I don't think she has brow products in her line. Right? Okay, now we're going to jump into some bronzer. And I have here the Skin Fetish Divine Bronzer in Bronze Dawn. It's one of her recent launches. We were all waiting for it. And I think now we're waiting for cream bronzer. I do enjoy this bronzer. Is it my absolute favorite?
No.
It's a good formula. It really is. And if you're a huge Pat McGrath fan, you're not going to be disappointed. But I definitely don't think it's super special to leave a lasting impression. So I enjoy it, but I definitely think there's better formulas out there. I'm going to use this Sonia G Classic Cheek. I have no bronzer on. All I have is that cream blush under the powder. And this shade, I believe, is the third to lightest shade. I probably could have gone one shade darker, but I just wasn't sure. It's like a natural looking kind of bronzer for me. At least this shade is. Okay, and now a category that I feel she does or has been doing amazing in. Formula is beautiful. Everybody has raved about this formula since she gave it to us. And that is blushes. I do have here 6 individual blushes. I don't own any of her face palettes. Anytime she has released face palettes, there's always one shade that I'm just like, ugh. I wish that shade wasn't in that palette. I have a love-hate relationship when it comes to face palettes, and I feel like it's a waste of money if you don't end up using every single shade in the palette, so I usually don't even bother. But 6 single blushes. This is Venusian Sunrise, the duo ones that she came out with. This one's a gorgeous one, but I don't think it goes with today. This was part of a collection, I don't remember which one, Nude Venus 2, which looks very similar to Nude Venus. might use this one. This is Desert Orchid. I love this shade. So pretty. Paradise Glow, which is another one that has the duo. Ooh, I might use this one. And Nymphette, which is, I feel, a cult favorite. So pretty. And last but not least, Nude Venus, which looks very similar to Nude Venus 2 on the cheek. I think I'm going to jump into Paradise Glow, the duo one. This is my Sonia G Soft Cheek, and I usually just jump into both shades. I do tread softly because this is meant for darker complexion skin tones, so I try not to go too hard on it, but do you see that? It's so pretty. This formula is gorgeous. Okay, now for highlight. I do not own a ton of her highlighters. I would say highlighters is the product that I purchased the least of. The latest one in my collection is this one here. And this is the Skin Fetish Extreme Highlighter in Cyber Lotus. She released this together with this quad. Not the best highlight. This pink one here is way too glittery. It's like literally
straight up glitter.
Not my favorite. And then on the other side you have a balm, which is just that, a clear balm. I'll show you what this pink glitter looks like because it's not flattering at all. I'm gonna use this Wet n Wild sponge, which is a tiny bit damp. It's not, like, see, it just picked up a chunk. Here, let me, because let's see if, yeah, you just get straight up glitter and you can't even really see it with the camera, but that's all you get. Oh yeah, can you see that? Not my favorite formula at all. Yeah, it's not, I don't like it. Okay, the other 4 highlights that I do own, this one here is the Pat McGrath Divine Rose Highlight. I love this, it is my absolute favorite, my #1, and it's, I think, discontinued. She brought it back not too long ago and it sold out super quick. My absolute favorite highlighter that she has ever come out with.
Well, that I have tried.
This one here, which is the Skin Fetish Divine Glow Highlighter in Golden Nectar. It's a pretty one, but you can definitely go pretty icy with this one. Okay, this one here, which I can't remember with what collection it was released. Was it a Bridgerton? I don't remember. But it's that fancy one. It was really expensive. I think it was $60 just for this highlight. Formula is nice. It is different from the Divine Rose and the, what was it, Venusian Nectar, Golden Nectar, something like that. It is a tiny bit different. It's a good formula, but I don't prefer this over the Divine Rose. And last but not least, this one's actually broken and it came out with her latest collection. I think she just added more shades to her highlighter formula, but here it is. This one's really pretty. It has like a peachy undertone, Venus Nectar. I do really enjoy this. I tried getting it replaced and I ordered, I think it was a duo blush. Yeah, it was the duo blush and this one. They sent the duo blush instead of a new unbroken highlighter. For today, we're gonna use this pretty gold one here. I have not picked it up in a minute, so I'm going to use it for today. This is the Sonia G Worker L. I do enjoy Pat McGrath's highlighter formula. I feel like it does sink pretty well into the skin and it's not just laying on top like some highlighters can do. Okay, makeup is looking beautiful. Some people might think Pat McGrath is a little overrated, but we cannot deny that. My makeup is looking bomb.com. We cannot deny that. Okay, so lipsticks. I own 4 lip products, well, lipsticks, and then 1 gloss. This is the I think this is the very first lipstick I purchased, Dream Lover. I forget what collection this came out with. It's one of her matte trans formula. It is a very pretty nudie with the peach undertone shade. I do really enjoy it. This lip balm type thing. Divine Rose 2 Lip Shine, she calls it. It's beautiful. I think this is my most used out of all the lipsticks that I own from Pat McGrath. And then I did purchase 2 from one of the Bridgerton collections. I don't remember which one. This is in Negligee, and this one's like a mauve tone kind of shade. This is that lipstick formula that's like a hybrid between a lipstick and a lip balm. And then this other one, a lot of people did not enjoy the packaging. I think it's cute, but it doesn't look as luxurious as say this one here. This one is in Venusian Peach, and it's a peachy tone. And then I only own 1 lip liner, which is Buff, and then a gloss. I do own a gloss. This is in Dare to Bear. It's one of the Lust glosses. I'm not a huge gloss fan. I use this from time to time, but not often. It is what it is. Okay, let me go ahead and put on the lip liner. And it's like a peachy tone, kind of nude lip liner. I have been meaning to purchase another lip liner that I can use like every day, or like try and pair with everything, because this lip liner doesn't go with everything. Okay, there is the lip liner. I'm trying to figure out which. Let's stick to, I guess, the peachiness we got going on here. So this is the Venusian Peach. It might be too peachy now. All right, my lovelies, here is the full completed face with Pat McGrath makeup. Only thing that's not Pat McGrath is the mascara and the brows. Everything else is Pat McGrath, and I think my makeup looks so pretty. This eye look is gorgeous. That I will give Pat McGrath every single time. Doesn't matter if it's the same color scheme that she's been giving us for the past 7-8 years. If you pick up her eyeshadow palette, you are sure to create a super beautiful eyeshadow look. Doesn't matter what palette it is. The eye look is always a beautiful one. Yeah. Okay. I would have pulled out all of my eyeshadow palettes and showed you how many I owned, but it's quite a bit and this video would have been really long. Also, all of my makeup is still packed, so thinking about taking it all out and then putting it all back in is exhausting within itself. So maybe I'll do that in a different video. I do, however, have a Pat McGrath series going on my channel right now. I'm basically going through every single Pat McGrath palette that I own in my collection, and I'm creating an eye look for you. Go check out that playlist. I'm pretty sure I do have a Pat McGrath eye look playlist, and they're all in there in case you need some inspiration for older Pat McGrath palettes. I'm pretty sure you can find one on my playlist. Okay, well, oh, right. I just remembered she does have single shadows in her collection. I forget when these were launched, but I did end up purchasing one of them. And this is called the Fetish Eyes Longwear Liquid Eyeshadow. This is in Luna Rose. Here is the swatch. I have used this quite a bit, and it is the only liquid shadow that I have tried that I can wear on its own without eye primer and it not creasing, and it lasts all day long. I have worn this multiple times on its own and then just blending out the edges, and it looks so pretty. I know a couple of people did not enjoy this formula, but I personally do enjoy it. I think it's a pretty one, and I mean, this shade is absolutely stunning. You see that? So pretty. And if you've been meaning to try it, I don't think you'll be disappointed, especially if you're somebody who's very simple, doesn't like for your eyeshadow routine to be, you know, super extreme and just want to get it done. I think that's a good choice.
Forgot about that one.
That's what happens when your makeup is packed, you know, like you forget about items. But I'm glad I remembered, and I'm glad I'm letting you know that I do enjoy that product. I mean, look at that. So pretty. But I think that's pretty much it for this full face of Pat McGrath makeup. I think everything turned out beautiful. I don't absolutely love everything that Pat McGrath has to offer, but I do feel as a whole, Pat McGrath is a good brand. So I'm excited to see what other products she has in store for us that is not like blush, face palettes, eye palettes. Like, I'm excited to see if maybe she's going to bring us a more full coverage foundation, a lighter weight concealer, maybe primers, maybe a different powder. Like, I'm excited. She needs to give it to us. Also, cream blushes and cream bronzers. I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that. Okay, my lovelies, well, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate every single one of you. You have no idea. All the comments, all the likes. If you use my links to shop, it truly does mean the world to me. With you just being here, watching my channel from beginning to end, hitting the like button, commenting down below, even if it's just an emoji, it helps me out so much. The interaction really pushes my videos out for more eyes to see. Okay, well, with that being said, do not forget to give this video a big thumbs up. I would greatly appreciate it, and you would definitely help me out in the algorithm of hopefully bringing some new and fresh eyes to my channel. And if you haven't done so already, I would love it if you joined my small YouTube family by clicking the subscribe button. I would love to have you. Don't forget to let me know down below your thoughts on Pat McGrath as a whole, the new collection coming, and also I would love to know what are your favorite products from Pat McGrath. Okay, I will see you all on the next video.